Hello, my name's Rachel and I work for the Step 2 Young People's Health charity in Bradford. Today I'd like to talk to you about appropriate language in sex and relationship education. The language that we use in school is very important for a number of reasons. It helps us to understand our identity. It allows us to have sensitive conversations with people who are questioning their identity. And inappropriate language could cause offence to staff and students and should be avoided. First, I'd like to look at some of the key terms around gender and sexuality. There are many more terms than these, but these are the ones you might see or hear the most. We should try not to make assumptions about people's gender or identity. Cisgender is someone who identifies with the gender they were assigned at birth. So, for example, if you were born with female genitalia, the doctor announced to your parents, "Congratulations, it's a girl," and you have grown up your whole life feeling female, then you are cisgender. Same for the boys. Trans is the umbrella term for anybody who doesn't identify as the gender they were assigned at birth. A trans man was assigned female at birth but considers themselves male, and a transgender woman was assigned male at birth but considers themselves female. Anybody who considers themselves to be non-binary doesn't identify as either male or female. Heterosexual. You may be more familiar with the term straight. Heterosexual is the name that we would see on passport application forms, driving licence forms, such as that. It is the more appropriate term to use. The opposite of straight is a slur that's been used for gay people for a long time, so we should try and move away from that wording. Heterosexual people are attracted to the opposite sex. Gay or lesbian people are attracted to the same sex. Bisexual people are attracted to both sexes. Having worked in schools for many years, I've heard a lot of slurs used by students. They aren't always meant in a homophobic or transphobic way, but others may be deeply offended by their use. Any insult that refers to a person's sexuality, gender, identity, race, faith, disability or learning difficulty could be classed as a hate crime. "I was just joking" would not be an acceptable defence in court. It is not a joke, it is not funny, people get very offended by it with good reason. Labels are often given to those who are sexually active. The names given to girls are often negative, deeply offensive, and they struggle to shake these names off. Boys, however, are celebrated and called legends or studs. Nobody has the right to label you based on what you have or haven't done sexually. These labels can be very damaging to people. They also reinforce incorrect gender stereotypes. Pronouns. If you're unsure of the correct pronouns to use for somebody, ask them. It's easier to inquire than it is to seek forgiveness if you get it wrong. Children and teenagers may change their preferred pronouns more than once. Whilst this can be confusing for those around them, it's just as confusing for the young person whilst they try to come to terms with their identity. The teenage brain isn't fully developed yet, and you navigate in a world of hormones and changes, and we all need to be more understanding of that. If somebody calls you by the wrong pronoun and it's a one-off and it seems like a genuine mistake, please just correct them. Educate them rather than reprimand them. However, if somebody is repeatedly using the wrong term and they are aware that that is the wrong term, that could be seen as harassment